The successful recording of the previous video will hopefully be the hallmark of a new age of getting on with it. Let's continue the story. Let's have some more encounters, guys. Encounter some people and see what's up. Let's see the banker. The National Bank of Chimerica, under the personal control of Anastasio Farsante until his overthrow, since then managed by the Chimerican government. President of the National Bank of Chimerica, regarded as one of the most astute and flexible financial minds of the nation, never personally close to dictators, he skillfully managed to moderate the legendary Farsante greed despite their tendency to view the entire bank as a personal account. Thank you, Jorge. Good day, Presidente. A periodic review of our lending policies is very much in order. Quezada shows you charts concerning the production of various crops, foreign exchange reserves, and the national debt. As long as these difficult conditions continue, he concludes, I see little room for alteration of our present set of priorities. Concentrate limited credit resources on the producers. That. At least we're on the right track with our credit policies. Perhaps this way we'll be able to salvage some credibility in the international financial community. Sounds good to me, Jorge. Quezada raises his bulk from his chair and shakes your hand. And so it shall be, he says with conviction. Let us be glad in it. Yes, yes, pants wet. I get it. Let's meet with... I don't know whether I want to meet it with anyone. I don't know if anyone has anything good to say to me, damn it. I guess I could... I guess I could have, like, some consultations and stuff. I never had any of those before. Nah, Presidente Olmec's not gonna bother with that shit. You kidding me? Let's talk with the Subcommandant again. Let's see what's going on with him. The new People's Reconciliation of Army of Chimerica, currently undergoing rigorous counterinsurgency training. Though the reactionary forces no longer threaten our government, they are still capable of considerable damage. Remnants of the Farsante Guard have set up camps just across the border, from which they make raids on isolated farms and towns. At present, we simply do not have the manpower or equipment to patrol those regions adequately. Build the army to defend against attacks by reactionaries. I presume my main man is going to agree with this situation? Oh yeah. Unfortunately, we have not heard the last of the Guardia Farsante. Many of the worst psychopaths among them fled across the border, trained killers who use nom de guerre, like suicide, vulture, Bobo, and blowtorch. From there, they launch vicious attacks against isolated towns and farms, hoping people will be frightened and supporting their efforts to overthrow our government. I agree. Comandante Correa nods. We must protect the revolution at all costs, he says with determination. Here, no one surrenders. Our enemies shall not pass! Cool. Wonder how the United States feels about everything. I guess I could have a chat with the ambassador again. What's shaking, Quentin Buffard? Buffard? A wide range of development projects await your approval, the man says expansively. The list includes rural electrification, teaching small farmers how to grow vegetables for the U.S. winter market, infrastructure improvement to improve the efficiency of your export producers, grants to train engineers and managers at U.S. universities. Because of U.S. aid projects, Chimerican farmers who used to grow only corn and beans will soon export all of that shit. Making them more entrepreneurial campesinos and the commercial farmers will help improve our balance of payments. I will do this. That it is agreed, Buffard says with a firm handshake. Chimerica and the USA shall be partners in progress. Our unique reservoir of experienced engineers, scientists, and agribusiness managers will be at your disposal. Once again, I have chosen well, because I am Captain Awesome. Very good. We're still in the harvest. We have 2 more meetings to go. Son of a bitch. Who do I feel like talking with today? Let's talk with the Campesino, see how he's doing. Beanfields, Trinidad Province. 70% of Chimerican farmers own less than 5 hectares and grow 80% of the staple food crops of the Chimerican diet. Ernesto Alarcon Mendez will be their spokesman. Presidente, to be a farmer is to be always in debt. Before you have any crops to sell, you must buy seeds, machetes, hoes, fertilizer, the list goes on. But where is the money to come from? A while back, the National Bank finally began to give us credit, but now once again only the big boys, producing crops for export, get any help. What will the revolution do for the rest of us? At least we're on the right track with our credit policies. Perhaps this way, I agree, we cut that shit off for a reason. As Senor Alarcon listens to your explanations, he looks off over the fields he knows so well. I keep forgetting that there's supposed to be there's a tilde that's not expressed in this game. And so there are situations where I'm reading words which are supposed to have tildes, and I'm not directly expressing how they're supposed to be read. But again, I'm not doing a good job of reading any of these anyway, so does it really matter? Haha! My Presidente, I have only my fields in my head, my crops and my children. In yours there is so much more. For myself, I will be patient and persuade my friends also. But we cannot wait forever. Coffee worker. Racks of drying coffee. Chimerica's chief export, rivaled by cotton only since the 1950s. Grown in hilly areas, much is still exported as raw beans, though efforts have been made to increase the amount of processing done in country. Sergio, I don't think we've talked with you before. Longtime employee of one of Farsante's coffee farms, acting as overseer of migrant pickers at harvest time. Spokesman for the Association of Coffee Workers, ATCAF, a union closely associated with the National Liberation Party. Currently manages state coffee. Cool. Espinoza looks unhappy. Presidente, the good Lord has given us land to distribute, but to whom does it go? To people who already have some land, we give more. To the many who have no land at all, we give none. Where is the sense in that? Turn state farms into cooperatives owned by the workers. Our program is to help the small coffee growers as a popular success. Once a farmer has enough land, he can take advantage of more sophisticated technology, especially if we use some of the proceeds from the sale to give them technical advice. Studies have shown that the kind of medium-sized family farm we support is, in the production of coffee at least, the optimum unit for maximum production. I will continue to gradually give state farmland to the small coffee producers. Espinoza scowls. What will I tell my compañeros, eh? They're expecting eggs from the new government. What will they think when all they get is the same old tortillas? I don't know, Sergio. I don't know. Yes, pants wet. The second year of your presidency. The harvest season ends, and the dry season begins. We survived to year 2, everyone. Oh my goodness. No new news, apparently. Let's check out some reports. Military expenses? They're doing okay. Which is fine, because we're not getting any sort of military aid at all. Social spending, expenditures for healthcare and production are continuing to go up, but we're no longer losing money due to food price subsidies. Infant mortality remains declining. Land distribution, land owned by the wealthiest 5%, continues to increase, but land owned by other private producers is also continuing to markedly increase. And the state doesn't own very much land anymore. The production of corn and beans has stabilized. Percent of population eating less than the United Nations standard nutritional requirements, though, has gone back up, regrettably, after we remove price controls. Export crops. Coffee production appears to have gone up there. Cotton price has gone down. Coffee price has gone up, and cotton production is decreasing. Hard currency earnings. Cotton's continuing to do... Coffee's continuing to do much, much better. We have more money in the bank now, and the amount that we owe to other governments and international banks is, well, it's still increasing. Looks like it's kind of plateauing, though. Loans from international banks and institutions is decreasing as bilateral aid jackknives from everyone else, which is great. Chimerica, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Go ahead and save, and let's chat with some people again. See what's going on in the world. I haven't spoken with some people in a while. Rights activist, how are you doing? We thank you, Presidente, for leading the fight for justice, Senora Mendoza says warmly. Now help us find out the truth about our children. Can it be that some are still alive? If not, we want to know. Every mass grave must be discovered. Every charred bone must be properly buried. It will be hard for us, the mothers of the murdered ones. We must not let our nation's history lie forgotten in an unmarked grave. We must force ourselves to turn off our air conditioner when it's no longer that warm in our rooms. By all means, we should do everything we can to help the families of the victims of the dictator and the death squads. Agreed. Presidente Olmec will perpetually regret his indecision. Chimerica needs more of this way of thinking, Presidente, Ortiz says graciously. It will be a pleasure to carry this matter onward. How's the bishop doing? Placido Dimas Hernandez and the Cathedral of fuck. Headquarters of the Human Rights Commission of Chimerica, funded and led by the Catholic Church. Yep. What's going on, man? As our Savior taught us, we must love our neighbor as we love ourselves, the bishop says quietly. Therefore, we must not forget those of our neighbors who suffered most from the recent violence. We must mourn with them and show them our continued concern. Yes. The bishop folds his hands together and smiles. The Lord has shown the strength of his arms. He conquers those with proud hearts. May you and your government keep him ever in mind. Oh goody, the ambassador of the United States of America urgently requests that you allow him to visit you on a matter of state importance. For some time, rebels seeking to overthrow the government of one of your neighbors have made Chimerica their headquarters. In addition, elements of your army have been supplying these Marxist rebels with military equipment. My information points to the direct involvement of your subcommandant Correa. This interference in the affairs of a sovereign nation, strictly prohibited by various treaties, as well as the insurmountable might of the United States of fucking America, bitch, must cease at once. Cease aid to Marxist rebels and deny them permission to reside in Chimerica. We cannot afford to risk angering the United States unnecessarily. Our position is just too precarious. All military aid to others must immediately cease. Though we cannot forget that many of our own present leaders spent periods of active exile. We had best ask these rebels to move their political base to a country in a better position to offer sanctuary. Yes. Yes. For as snarky as I might be regarding the United States of America and how it deals with the little people, that does not mean I plan on pissing them off in this instance. No. No. We're going to stop aiding them, and we're going to send our political exiles to Mexico. We are pleased, Excellency, that your advisors have proposed a path of responsibility and peace. We look forward to seeing if that is in fact the path you take. We will follow your leadership in this matter with unreserved enthusiasm. Oh, shit. Hector Ferreira. He's back. Presidente, after many years of struggle, the unions won a law guaranteeing workers a minimum wage. But this minimum, it's not good enough. We're all paid an equivalent amount of shit. They tell me that in the countries of North America and Europe, they have a minimum wage also. But their minimum wage for an hour is more than twice our minimum for a whole day. And think about living expenses and everything else that you might have to cover. Are you comfortable with, say, moving to the United States of America? You know, say, for instance, or moving to one of those more civilized nations that have profited from hundreds of years of plundering other underdeveloped countries? Oh yes, of course they can afford to pay their people more. They stole it from others. We really don't have anyone to steal it from. And any attempts to steal it from other people will be viewed as threats to the precarious political balance of this sphere, and the United States will smite us, and we will be smitten. Now that we have raised minimum wage, the union should be content for a while. Our first priority, after all, is to get production moving again. Radical demands for still more should be met with firmness and resolve. Agreed. If you want a chicken to grow, you have to give it chicken feed, Ferreira says, shaking his head with dismay. If you want us to do a good job, we must have more money, shorter hours, and better benefits. I'm sure. What is with you and the food analogies, man? Come on. Stop doing that. Alright. Doing a good job. Doing a good job. We've been through 4 of our 9 meetings for the season. Anything been happening in the news? Expelling the communist rebels does not go far enough. They should be arrested and deported, so that they may face the appropriate authorities in their homelands. Revolution is not something you can pack in burlap sacks like coffee. You cannot even pack it in wooden crates like the ones they use to ship guns and ammunition. Wherever there is gross social injustice, whether others help or not, the people will arise. There is some evidence that the Chimerican army has in fact been shipping arms to the rebels. The same evidence would suggest, however, that these relatively small shipments do not amount to a significant factor in the rebellion. I don't understand how we in Chimerica are in a position to give aid to anyone, considering how much aid we're getting, but what the hell do I know about global politics and economics? I'm just Presidente. Sending arms to those attempting to overthrow a government constitutes serious interference in another nation's internal affairs, from which all OAS members are pledged to refrain. I'm sure the United States has never done that. Never. No, 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 no. Never. Oh, good times. Nah. I don't think we have spoken with, let's have a chat with the coffee grower. Jesus Cabrales Murillo, National Bank of America, owner of a medium-sized coffee finca in mountainous Vallecillo province. Inheriting 3 hectares from his father, after 40 years of hard work, built a 40-hectare operation complete with processing beneficio. Chief of Chi Cafe, the Coffee Growers Association, which speaks largely to the owners of smaller farms. Presidente, it is possible to produce coffee with very primitive technology. Many small coffee producers do not even fertilize their trees. Without modern methods, the yields are small. and to get less than 10 quintals of coffee per hectare of land. Many farmers could produce 5 or 6 times as much coffee on the same amount of land if only they had loans for new equipment. Continue to concentrate our credit resources on the key export crops. We're in agreement. Your visit is an honor, Presidente, he says warmly. Our cup runs over with joy. May you always be as welcome as you are today. At least you're not talking about getting my pants wet again, bro. I appreciate that. Alright, I think we're going to leave that there. In the middle of the dry season, year 2. Presidente Olmec is still in charge. But for how long? It's a mystery.